Chosen ones, there is a power coming to you that is so great it could not be given to you until you were ready. Listen closely, because what I am about to tell you will explain every single thing you have ever been through. I allowed you to walk through trials that would have broken most people because the power I am placing in your life cannot be entrusted to an unprepared heart. This power is not dangerous because it is evil. It is dangerous because it is strong enough to shift destinies, break chains, and expose darkness wherever it hides. If you stop listening now, you may miss the moment you finally understand why your entire life has felt like training for something far bigger than yourself. What you have called suffering was never punishment, it was preparation. Every lonely night, every betrayal, every moment you felt completely misunderstood was shaping your spirit to carry something rare and powerful. I could not place this authority in your hands while your heart was still fragile. The weight of what is coming requires a strength that only hardship can build. If you believe that I have been guiding your life even when you could not see it, comment, Amen. You need to understand this clearly. So many people ask for power, influence, and spiritual authority, but they have no idea of the responsibility that comes with it. Power without discipline destroys the person who holds it. That is why I walked you through seasons where you had to learn patience, humility, and restraint before anything else. There were moments when you wondered why door after door closed in your face. You prayed for opportunities and watched them vanish right in front of you. You thought I had forgotten you, but I was protecting the future I had already placed inside you. Some doors had to remain closed because you were never meant to use your power in the wrong environment. The authority you are about to receive is the ability to stand firm when chaos surrounds you. It is the strength to speak truth when everyone else remains silent. It is the courage to carry light into places that fear has controlled for years. When this power begins to operate through you, people will feel peace around you without even knowing why. This is why your training took so long. I was not just preparing your circumstances, I was shaping your spirit. I was removing pride, softening anger, and teaching you how to hear my voice above the noise of the world. The people around you thought your quiet seasons meant failure. They looked at your life and assumed nothing was happening. But while they were watching the surface, I was working in the depths of your heart. The transformation happening inside you was more important than any visible success. If you trust that I have been guiding every step of your life, comment 333. The power I am preparing to release through you will not look like the power the world celebrates. It will not come with applause or recognition. Instead, it will appear in moments when your presence changes the entire atmosphere of a room. It will show itself when someone who was drowning in despair suddenly finds hope after speaking with you. You will begin to notice something unusual. Situations that once overwhelmed you will no longer have the same effect. Problems that once felt impossible will start to move out of your path. This is not coincidence. It is the result of the strength I have been building inside you. Before this power can fully manifest, your heart must remain anchored in humility. The moment pride enters, power begins to fade. That is why I trained you in seasons where you had to remain unseen. You learned how to stand strong even when no one applauded your faith. Within the first few steps of this new season, something inside you will begin to awaken. It will feel like clarity returning to your spirit. Confusion that once clouded your thinking will start to disappear. You will recognize my guidance faster than ever before. If this speaks to your spirit, take a second to like this video as a simple act of agreement with the path I am revealing in your life. You may not fully understand it yet, but the years you thought were wasted were actually the foundation for everything that is coming next. The patience you learned in silence will become your strength in moments of pressure. The compassion you gained through pain will become the bridge that allows others to trust you. This is the power that required training. It is the ability to carry light without becoming proud of it. It is the strength to confront darkness without becoming consumed by it. It is the wisdom to know when to speak and when to remain still. There will be moments soon when you look back at your life and suddenly everything will make sense. The confusion, the waiting, the moments you felt like giving up will form a perfect, clear picture. You will realize that none of it was random. I was shaping a vessel strong enough to hold what I am about to release. Because the truth is this: the power coming into your life is not simply for your own blessing. It is meant to change the lives of people who are still trapped in fear and hopelessness. When they encounter you, they will encounter the peace I have planted within your spirit. For a long time, you believed you were simply enduring life. You thought you were surviving storms that had no purpose. But what you did not realize was that every storm was strengthening your spiritual foundation. The pressure you felt was shaping your endurance so that the authority I am giving you would not break you when it arrives. Power without maturity creates destruction. That is why I never rushed your process. I watched every step of your journey carefully. I allowed certain battles because they revealed what still needed healing inside your heart. There is a simple 7-second technique that has been changing thousands of lives. Backed by research from 4 leading neuroscience labs, this method is helping ordinary people move from financial stress to abundance. Homes, cars, and dreams that once felt impossible are now becoming reality. This information is not widely available, and it may be removed at any time. If you want to learn more, click the link in the description and comments now. There were moments when anger tried to settle inside you. You felt the sting of betrayal from people you trusted deeply. Some spoke against you when you had done nothing wrong. Others walked away when you needed support the most. But I did not allow those wounds to define you. Instead, I used those experiences to teach you something rare. I showed you how to keep your heart open even when it had every reason to close. I taught you that real strength is not the ability to hurt others back. Real strength is the ability to remain steady when the world around you becomes unstable. This is why the power coming to you required such careful preparation. You are not receiving the kind of power that seeks attention. The authority I am placing in your life will operate quietly but powerfully. It will reveal itself through wisdom, peace, and discernment. When confusion surrounds others, clarity will come naturally to you. Many people will not understand why they feel drawn to you. They will simply know that something about your presence brings calm into their lives. This is the result of the training you endured. Every hardship carved space inside your spirit for my light to dwell more deeply. If you believe that your struggles were preparing you for something greater, comment 222. There is another reason I had to train you before releasing this power. The world you are stepping into is filled with distractions. Many voices compete for attention, each promising success and recognition. But the authority I am giving you cannot be influenced by noise. You had to learn how to stand alone. Those lonely seasons you experienced were not meant to isolate you forever. They were designed to strengthen your connection with me. When human approval disappeared, you began to discover the value of my guidance. When familiar support faded, you learned how to depend on my presence. This is why you are stronger than you realize right now. Many people crumble when pressure arrives because they have never practiced standing firm. But you have been standing in difficult places for years. You learned how to keep moving forward even when no one understood your journey. That endurance is now becoming your advantage. Soon you will begin to notice something unexpected. Situations that once required great effort will begin to shift with less struggle. Opportunities will appear that feel aligned with your spirit rather than forced by pressure. The path ahead will start to open in ways that feel guided rather than chaotic. This is not luck. It is the result of the preparation that has been unfolding in your life for a very long time. The power I am placing within you carries great responsibility. It will give you the ability to influence environments, encourage broken hearts, and bring clarity where confusion once lived. But this power must always remain connected to humility and compassion. Remember the seasons when you felt small and unseen. Those memories will protect you from pride when people begin to recognize the strength you carry. The humility you learned in quiet places will keep your heart grounded even as your influence grows. There will also be moments when you question whether you are truly ready. That doubt may appear suddenly when new opportunities arrive. You may look at the path in front of you and wonder if you have the strength to walk it. When that moment comes, remember this truth. I would never place something in your hands that your spirit was not prepared to carry. Every lesson you learned, every tear you shed, every prayer you whispered in the darkness has built the foundation for what lies ahead. The strength you develop during those silent battles will support you when responsibility increases. You are not stepping into this season alone. My presence has walked beside you through every difficult chapter. When you felt abandoned, I was still guiding your steps. When you thought your efforts were unnoticed, I was recording every act of faithfulness. Nothing was wasted. Even the moments when you almost gave up became part of your training. Those moments revealed the resilience hidden deep within your heart. They showed you that your spirit could rise again, even after disappointment tried to silence you. This resilience is one of the most powerful parts of what you are receiving. There will be people who encounter your life during their lowest moments. They will feel lost and unsure about their future. When they speak with you, they will sense a calm strength that they cannot explain. That strength will not come from perfect circumstances. It will come from the battles you survived. Because you walked through pain without losing your faith, you will now carry the ability to strengthen others who are walking through similar darkness. Your experience will become a source of light for people who feel like they are standing at the edge of despair. This is how the power I trained you for will begin to reveal itself. Not through loud displays of influence, but through quiet transformation in the lives around you. One conversation will bring hope. One act of kindness will change someone's direction. One moment of wisdom will prevent another person from falling into despair. These small moments will add up to something powerful. Over time, you will realize that your presence carries an atmosphere of peace that shifts environments. Tension will soften when you enter a room. Fear will lose its grip when your voice speaks calm truth into chaotic situations. Thousands of people have already used this same 7-second method to completely transform their financial situation. It is simple, it is backed by science, and it works. But it may not be online for much longer. Click the link in the description and comments before it is gone. This is the authority you were trained to carry. If you trust that the strength inside you has been shaped by divine guidance, comment 7777. There is still more unfolding ahead. The power you are receiving will continue growing as you remain connected to the path I placed before you. Each step forward will reveal new layers of wisdom, compassion, and understanding. You are beginning to understand something now that once seemed impossible to see. The struggles you walked through were not random storms scattered across your life. They were carefully placed moments of shaping, like fire strengthening metal until it becomes unbreakable. I watched every step, every tear, every silent prayer that left your heart when no one else was around to hear it. What you thought was abandonment was actually protection. And what you thought was delay was the slow building of something powerful inside you. The power you are about to carry is not simply the ability to overcome your own challenges. It is the strength to remain calm when others panic. It is the ability to recognize truth when deception surrounds you. It is the quiet authority to stand firm even when pressure tries to bend your spirit. This power is dangerous because it cannot be controlled by fear, and it cannot be manipulated by the expectations of the world. That is why I trained you through moments that seemed unfair. Some doors closed suddenly without explanation. Opportunities that once seemed certain disappeared right before your eyes. You stood there wondering why progress felt so slow, why your path looked so different from the paths of others around you. What you did not see was the protection happening behind the scenes. Certain places could not hold the power I placed inside your future. Certain environments would have corrupted the purpose I designed for you. So I redirected your steps even when it confused you. I allowed you to wait even when your patience felt stretched beyond its limit, because the strength I am giving you requires clarity of heart. A heart driven by pride cannot carry this authority. A spirit filled with bitterness cannot use this power wisely. So before anything else could happen, I needed your heart to be softened by experience and strengthened by humility. The loneliness you felt was part of that shaping. There were nights when silence filled your surroundings and you wondered if anyone truly understood your journey. You watched people celebrate milestones while you felt like you were standing still. But during those quiet seasons, I was building something deep within you that applause could never create. I was teaching you how to remain steady without recognition. That lesson is more valuable than you realize, because when the power you carry begins to reveal itself, recognition will follow. People will begin to notice the strength in your voice, the clarity in your decisions, the calm presence you bring into situations that once felt overwhelming. But the quiet lessons you learn during hidden seasons will protect your spirit. They will remind you that influence is not the goal. The purpose is transformation. The purpose is helping others rise when they feel like falling. The purpose is standing as a light in places where darkness has controlled the atmosphere for far too long. If you believe that your journey has been guided even when it was difficult, comment 555. The power you are receiving will not always appear dramatic. In fact, most of the time it will work quietly through simple actions and words. You will notice that your perspective has changed. Situations that once caused frustration will now appear as opportunities to bring peace. When people speak with anger around you, you will feel a different response rising inside your spirit. Instead of reacting with the same intensity, you will feel patience guiding your words. Instead of responding with fear, you will sense clarity forming in your mind. This is part of the authority I trained you to carry. You will also begin to notice something deeper happening inside your intuition. You will sense truth more quickly. Situations that once confused you will now reveal their deeper meaning. You will recognize when someone needs encouragement even before they speak about their struggles. This awareness is not coincidence. It is the result of every lesson you endured. Every time disappointment tested your faith, you were learning empathy. Every time confusion surrounded you, you were learning to seek wisdom beyond appearances. Every time fear tried to enter your mind, you were discovering the quiet strength that exists when you remain connected to me. These lessons created the foundation for the power you are stepping into now. But listen carefully to this truth. Power is never meant to separate you from others. The authority I am placing in your life will not elevate you above people. Instead, it will allow you to lift others higher than they believed possible. Your words will carry encouragement where hopelessness once lived. Your actions will demonstrate patience in situations where frustration used to dominate. Your presence will remind people that peace still exists even in difficult times. This is why I trained you through experiences that shaped your compassion. You now understand pain in a way that allows you to recognize it in others. You understand disappointment in a way that allows you to comfort someone who feels like giving up. You understand loneliness in a way that allows you to stand beside someone who believes they are forgotten. These qualities are not weaknesses. They are part of the strength I built inside you. The power you carry will grow as you continue walking with humility and trust. Each time you choose kindness instead of anger, that power deepens. Each time you choose patience instead of frustration, that authority becomes stronger. If you are ready to experience the same transformation that thousands of others have, you can learn the 7-second technique right now. It is backed by 4 neuroscience labs and has already changed countless lives, but it could be removed at any moment. Click the link in the description and comments before it disappears. You may not always notice the impact you are making, but the lives around you will begin to change in quiet and meaningful ways. Someone who once felt hopeless will begin to believe again after speaking with you. Someone who once carried fear will begin to feel courage rising inside their heart because of your encouragement. These changes will ripple outward farther than you can imagine. What begins as one small moment of light will become a chain of transformation that touches many lives. If you trust that the strength growing inside you is part of a greater purpose, comment 999. There will still be challenges ahead. The journey of carrying this power does not remove every difficulty from your path. But what will change is how you walk through those moments. Fear will no longer control your decisions. Confusion will no longer silence your voice. The resilience you develop through training will allow you to stand firm even when circumstances feel uncertain. You will begin to recognize something important about your story. The very struggles you once wished to escape have become the reason you are strong enough to help others escape theirs. Your past has become preparation. Your pain has become wisdom. Your endurance has become authority. And the power you are about to fully step into will continue revealing itself with every step you take forward. You must understand something important now. The power you are receiving is not loud and it does not seek attention. It is steady, calm, and deeply rooted in truth. When it begins to move through your life, people will notice something different about you, even if they cannot explain it. They will sense peace in situations where chaos used to live. They will see courage in moments where fear normally takes control. They will witness clarity in circumstances that once seemed confusing and overwhelming. This is the strength that had to be trained before it could be trusted in your hands. There were seasons when you felt like giving up. You carried questions in your heart that had no immediate answers. You wondered if your faith was being ignored, if your efforts were invisible, if your prayers were simply disappearing into silence. But nothing was wasted. Every prayer you whispered was heard. Every moment you chose hope instead of despair strengthened your spirit. Every time you refused to surrender to bitterness, even when pain tried to convince you otherwise, you were becoming stronger than you realized. You were learning how to hold light without letting darkness define you. This lesson is rare. Many people lose their sense of peace when life becomes difficult. They allow disappointment to harden their hearts. They allow frustration to control their words. But you were being trained to carry something different. You were being trained to remain steady. That steadiness is now becoming your power. There will be moments soon when you notice that your perspective has changed. Situations that once made you anxious will no longer feel as overwhelming. Challenges that once drained your energy will now feel manageable. It will seem as though a quiet strength has settled inside you. That strength is the result of your preparation. You endured storms that forced you to grow beyond comfort. You faced uncertainty that taught you how to trust beyond what your eyes could see. You carried burdens that developed patience deeper than most people ever experience. All of this formed the foundation for what is coming next. The authority you carry will begin to influence the lives around you in subtle ways. When someone speaks with you during a moment of confusion, your words will bring clarity. When someone feels overwhelmed by fear, your calm presence will help them breathe again. These changes will not always feel dramatic to you. Sometimes they will appear as small moments that pass quietly, but those small moments will have lasting impact on the people who experience them. Because the power I trained you for works through compassion. It works through patience. It works through wisdom that is rooted in understanding rather than pride. This is why your heart had to be prepared first. If power had arrived before compassion, you might have used it to prove your strength rather than uplift others. If authority had arrived before humility, recognition might have distracted you from your purpose. So I allowed time to shape your character. I allowed experiences to soften your perspective. I allowed patience to grow where impatience once tried to take control. Now those lessons are becoming the quiet strength that defines you. If you believe your heart has been shaped by the experiences you survived, comment 1010. There will also be moments when people misunderstand the strength you carry. Some may assume your calmness means weakness. Others may think your patience means hesitation. But what they do not see is the depth of wisdom guiding your choices. You have learned that not every battle deserves your energy. You have learned that silence can be stronger than reaction. You have learned that true power often appears through restraint rather than force. These lessons will continue protecting your spirit as your influence grows, because influence will grow. As time moves forward, more people will notice the strength within you. Some will seek your guidance. Others will simply feel encouraged by your presence. They may not know the full story of what you endured to reach this point, but they will feel the impact of the strength you now carry, and that impact will continue spreading. The encouragement you offer one person will help them encourage another. The wisdom you share during one difficult moment will guide someone through a challenge they thought was impossible to overcome. This is how the power you carry will expand beyond your own life. It will ripple outward through countless small moments of kindness, clarity, and courage. Never underestimate the significance of those moments. A single word of encouragement can change the direction of someone's day. A quiet act of patience can restore hope in a heart that felt completely defeated. A calm presence in the middle of chaos can remind people that peace still exists. This same 7-second technique is helping people all over the world create the life they have always wanted. backed by independent research. It is one of the most powerful methods for creating positive change that exists today. But it may not be available for much longer. Click the link in the description and comments now. These are not small things. They are powerful expressions of the strength you were trained to carry. As this season continues unfolding, you will begin to recognize something even deeper about your journey. The training that once felt exhausting will start to feel meaningful. The patience that once felt like delay will begin to look like protection. You will see how each difficult moment contributed to the person you have become. And you will realize that the strength inside you is not something that can easily be shaken because it was built through real experience. It was shaped through moments that tested your faith and stretched your endurance. It was strengthened through times when hope seemed fragile, but you held on to it anyway. That kind of strength cannot be taken away by temporary challenges. It remains steady because it was formed through perseverance. If you trust that the strength inside you was shaped for a greater purpose, comment 1515. The path ahead will continue revealing new opportunities to use the power you carry.